My name is Audrey. I'm 39 years old. I own a very large fashion company in the city. I have a big house, a fast car, and a lot of power. But at home, I am just a wife. My husband's name is Josh. Josh is a simple man. He works as a taxi driver. He does not have much money, but he has a heart of gold. He is kind, loyal, and honest. That is why I love him so much. In our house, I pay for everything. I often tell him, Josh, you don't need to drive a taxi all day. I earn enough money for both of us. Please stay home and rest. But Josh always shakes his head and smiles. He says, Audrey, I don't do it for the money. I do it for my peace of mind. I like to work. It makes me feel like a man. I treat him to luxury vacations and gold watches. Every time I give him a gift, he looks at me with love. He always says, Audrey, you make me the happiest man on earth. I don't need these things. I only need you. I want to start a family with Josh, but I am always busy. And my heart is always heavy with a secret. I feel like bringing a new life into my world is dangerous. Because my world is built on a crime I committed 10 years ago. Before I was a CEO, I was desperate. I had a business partner named Marcus. We wanted to start our company, but we had no money. So we did something very bad. We committed embezzlement. We stole a large amount of money from our old boss. We used a shell company, a fake company. It does not have an office or employees. We used it to hide the money. It was a serious financial crime. We thought we were smart. For 10 years, the secret has kept me awake. At night, I look at Josh sleeping peacefully and I shiver. I think, what if Josh finds out? He is an honest man. He hates lies. If he knows I am a criminal, he will leave me forever. Sometimes I cannot eat. I feel sick with guilt. I distract myself with work. I buy Josh more gifts. I try to be the perfect wife, to hide the bad person inside me. But the fear is like a ghost. It follows me everywhere. 3 months ago, my life changed forever, and I had to make a very tough decision. Marcus, my old partner, started calling me every evening. He wanted to take everything I worked for. These calls were the start of my nightmare, and they never stopped. Marcus wanted half of my company. I couldn't give him that much. My company is my life. After many weeks of fighting and crying, I gave him 15% of the shares. I thought this would make him happy. But Marcus is a snake. Even with 15%, he was not satisfied. He kept calling me. He kept threatening me. I felt like I was drowning. Because of the stress, I started having high blood pressure. My heart was always racing. I stayed at the office until 11 p.m. every night because I was afraid to go home and face my husband. I didn't want Josh to see my shaking hands. I was working late, hiding in my office, and praying that the past would stay dead. But the more I tried to hide, the sicker I became. One evening, I came home at midnight. I was exhausted, but when I opened the door, the house was beautiful. Josh had lit candles everywhere. The table was set with my favorite food. He had spent hours cooking for me. "Surprise, Audrey," he said softly. He looked so handsome in the candlelight. "No more work tonight. No more Marcus. Just us." I sat down and for a moment I felt safe. I felt loved. But just as I picked up my fork, Josh's phone rang. It was Marcus. Josh looked at the screen, then at me. "Why is he calling me, Audrey?" He answered the phone. The room went silent. I watched Josh's face turn from life to stone. He hung up the phone. His hands were shaking so hard he dropped his fork. "Audrey," he whispered. "Marcus he says the police are outside right now at our front door." He stood up so fast his chair fell over. He was panicking. He looked at me with eyes I did not recognize. "Audrey," he shouted. He was nervous and shocked. "Were you involved in a crime? Tell me the truth. Did you steal that money 10 years ago? Is our whole life together just a lie?" "Josh, please. I did it for us," I cried. "Answer me," he screamed. Before I could say a word, the front door burst open. 2 detectives walked into our warm dining room. They didn't care about the candles or the dinner. They grabbed my arms and put cold metal handcuffs on my wrists. They pulled me away. The last thing I saw was Josh standing by the table, crying and shaking his head, surrounded by the dinner he had made with so much love. The police took me away. I didn't even get to finish my dinner. I was sentenced to 15 years in a cold, grey prison. My fashion company was gone. My reputation was gone. For the first 2 weeks, Josh did not come. I sat in my cell and cried every night. Finally, he visited me. We talked through the glass. "I don't know who you are," he said softly. He looked tired. "I loved a woman who didn't exist." He visited me every Sunday for 3 months. We talked about the past. We talked about the baby we never had. But I could see the light leaving his eyes. He didn't look at me with love anymore. He looked at me with pity. Then the visits became once a month. Then once every 2 months. One Sunday, I waited for 6 hours. He never came. I received a letter the next day. It was short. "I am sorry, Audrey. I cannot live in the shadows of your mistakes. I have to find a real life. Now I am alone. I have no money, no company, and no husband. I thought I could build a future on a bad past. But The truth is like a fire. It burns everything until only you are left sitting in the dark.